this. Wow. Hello and welcome to Launch Control. We are finally reviewing the Porsche that we've been talking about for so many weeks. I'm here with Ruben Mars.
G'day, and I'm here with Dylan White, but I like to refer to both of us today as excited because look at this thing. We had a little drive on the way over here, already in love with it, already want to buy it, and if you do too, hit us up because
it may or may not be for sale.
Now let's talk a little bit about the exterior of this car before we talk about the interior. Systematic. These wheels, matte black Porsche wheels with the red calipers, they really look nice given that all the car is of darker hues.
It's a nice stealthy look. You'll notice that they are centre lock, no lug bolts there, just the centre lock, and the size of them, 245s on the front and 305 tyres in the rear. That is huge.
That is crazy. And another thing I just want to talk about of the side profile is this wider body at the back. How good does that look?
It's significantly wider than in the front, and you notice that while driving.
Being with us right now and having a really good look at it gives me a lot more appreciation for Porsche, so thank you for being around Porsche. And around the back, one of my favourites is the spoiler that you can pop up in car. How good does it look?
My favourite thing about the back is the continuous red light bar. Cars are doing it more and more often now. The 992 has it, and I think it's an awesome look. Looks great.
And lastly, the sports exhaust. Look at it, two massive exhausts down there, and you can turn on the silencers if you don't want to wake up the neighbours. But then again, you turn them off, mate.
Glorious sound.
And we're going to be hearing a lot more of that. Let's jump into the car.
We are here in the interior of the Porsche Carrera 4 GTS, and it is a very pleasant place to spend some time.
I don't know where I want to start. Like, first of all, I'm going to go straight to storage on this thing. Wow, for a sports car, it's like packed.
In comparison to the Alfa, this leaves the Alfa is not even in the same race.
The front boot is twice the size of the Alfa. You have these nice little side pockets, which are amazing for storage.
All of this Porsche over-engineered, perfect storage, perfect cup holders.
Look at these cup holders, guys. Wow.
They are...
It's kept away all tidy and nice. Love it. And I love that the side of the door storage is actually bigger than what you get on a standard car.
Yeah, like you can put your phone in there, put your wallet in there, put the keys in there.
Definitely.
No worries.
And not to mention the sound system in this thing. 8 loudspeakers.
Yeah.
And the display is like tidy and it's not bright and in your face. It looks very nice.
In 10 years, when this car is beginning to be dated, at least the screen is not going to be in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We got a wonderful sunroof up here.
Big, huge sunroof.
So you can put the shade cloth back and you can also put the sunroof back, which is kind of cool. A lot more sun in here now.
Wow.
And we're not getting the breeze of the sunroof, but if we push this little button, in comes more sun. So I think I'll put
Doesn't
it away.
that make you want a convertible?
Air conditioning, you got 4 main ducts. But
We just tested it off camera, and it had to be off camera because the max cold blew so hard that it blew out the mics.
yes,
So it's good. You won't get hot.
it was crazy. The air conditioning system is great.
As you would expect. On the centre control, next to the sunroof, we have the sport suspension button, traction control off. We have a little fun spoiler raise and lower button. We have the exhaust valve to make it a little bit quiet, a little bit loud, a little bit fun. And we also have the front lift system to get over those driveways that are a bit ugly, which is very handy. We've got a low Porsche and the auto start stop on off button. The steering wheel is pretty... I think it looks pretty cool. It looks like almost something like out of a Pagani with all the machined aluminium.
Well, I haven't got a problem with it. I
And
think
it's not
nice.
overwhelmed with buttons.
Do you know what, the one thing I'm thinking about with the steering wheel is the flappy pedals just look a little small for me.
It would be nicer if this sort of came another couple of centimetres high.
And I mean, look at that golden Porsche badge in the centre of the steering
Looking down
wheel.
at that just is Marvellous.
Makes you feel like you've made it in life. And that's one of the most beautiful
I
analog,
like it, yeah.
mostly analog displays that I've seen, apart from the one screen that is of course fully digital. But yeah, I think it's beautiful and like lovely, very well crafted.
Just a funny little German 4 out of 4 for instead of just a full fuel tank. You've got four out of 4.
You got 4 fuel tanks.
You got 4 out of 4.
Maybe he's trying to say he's 4 out of 4 case. Find out later in the episode. And why not subscribe? And then of course we have some seat adjusting.
18-way adjustable electric seats. And the buttons, you can't see them, but if you have a look, they are lovely polished aluminium.
We'll get a shot of that in. Oh, this is a thing that I always do on launch control. I always see how close I can get to the camera. I'm a bit jammed. This is about it. There's not a lot of... I wouldn't want to be a passenger other than my 7-year-old self in the backseat of a Porsche.
How long would you spend in there maximum?
I'd go down to the dairy and get myself a Red Bull.
So 15 minutes max.
Oh, no, 5. Very good then. And away we go. We are in the Porsche, and I tell you, that sound is heaven.
It is heavenly. It's quite loud, unexpectedly loud, hence the window going up.
But if we just tap this little button, oh
It
wow.
quietened it down, definitely.
Wow. Okay, so the exhaust dampening system works very well. Very well. It's a comfy sports car to be in. I mean, so far this car has had everything you'd want in a sports car.
I think this is the perfect daily driver for someone who wants a sports car as their daily driver.
It's comfy. I mean, like we said, you got your luggage in the back. It's top notch.
Yeah, for someone without having to lug, someone who doesn't have to lug kids around all day and just is either them or them and their partner, this is perfect.
This is the kid for you.
Yeah.
Although, if your kids are, you know, under the age of 10,
Oh yeah, you'll be alright.
you're away.
Family car.
It is a family car.
Go
After
down and get
that,
the groceries.
it's a 2-seater. Sorry kids, you're walking.
Yeah, the kids might not be too happy if they're even close to fully grown in the back there.
And if you have tall genes running in the family, again, this might not be the car for you.
Yeah.
But in terms of driving space, I could be a lot taller.
Oh
and
yeah, I'm sure
still
my
be
head
comfy.
is miles away from the ceiling.
I feel like a midget.
You look like a midget. You look quite short.
Now I could be a good 20 centimeters taller and still have some headroom. So if you're tall, don't worry about it.
It just handles so well. No, by no means have we been driving 1010s. We're driving in residential suburban areas, but you can just feel the rear steering in low speed, just maneuvering around a parking lot is even huge. Like the turning circle for this car must be tiny because of that rear wheel steering.
Yeah, exactly.
It just feels so planted to the road. It doesn't want to slip. It makes you have a lot of confidence in the car.
I mean, and that's exactly what you'd be expecting from a very expensive Porsche. If you were looking to buy one of these when they were brand new, you were talking just a tickle over $300,000 in New Zealand.
Which is a lot of money.
It is.
It's a lot of money.
£101,000.
That's a house in some parts of New Zealand.
And then we're talking options as well. It's kind of nice having this like tinted view of the sky. You feel like you're...
Yeah, I love the sunroof.
Really? You're living in heaven in this car.
It does feel a wee bit like it.
Dylan, I see a racetrack ahead of us, and it's called the Auckland Motorway. Oh, is that a T2 lane? Wow! How very convenient. That's not convenient though.
No.
Just a little bit of traffic. But we're now achieving 100 kilometres an hour. And I tell you, it's a lot comfortable than the Mazda or the Alfa on the motorway driving 100k.
It's so comfy.
And
I
easy.
feel like this would sit at 200 on the motorway, no worries.
Oh, very,
Yeah.
very, very nicely. It's just a nice place to be, and it's nicer than most SUVs or just hot hatches.
It's just something about, you can see the rear arches in the wing mirror. It just looks so nice.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we should mention. Sports cars, how much visibility do you normally get? Look, you can see the window in the shot just there. The rear visibility in this car for a sports car is intense.
It's huge compared to the Alfa. The Alfa has next to none, and this is
like driving a normal car.
comparable to my X3.
Instead of traditional lane sensing in the wing mirrors, we have some little racing lights that just delicately light up, and like, there's a car there.
That's beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful.
They've really thought this car out well, and you can tell just looking around it, they have put elegance and just amazing craft into everything, and they've thought everything out. It's nice to be in. Everything's nice to hold.
Yeah, everything that you touch is something amazing, like leather or polished aluminium.
And
It all feels really nice.
And these seats are unbelievably comfortable. And you know, I prefer Alcantara to leather. So I love that
me
these
too.
seats are mostly Alcantara. But then again, the leather in this car is the nicest leather I've ever felt. We are now in the rain, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm still enjoying myself.
Oh, definitely.
And with the four-wheel drive in this car, you don't got to worry about wet roads. You're gonna stick to the road.
Oh yeah. I think that's why the owner of this car actually chose four-wheel drive, is just because New Zealand's climate is a little wet.
Definitely. Now, your traditional modes, we're currently sitting in drive. Makes the fuel efficiency go up, a lot comfier ride. Switch it into sports, what do we get, Dylan?
Sports just tightens the transmission up a little bit, holds the gears a little bit longer, lets it rev out a bit more. Sport Plus just amps it up even a little bit more. And then you can change, the suspension has either normal or sports mode, and that's just at the click of a button, and it pretty much just stiffens things up a bit so you can really feel those cat's eye reflectors on the road.
And how are you liking the flippy pedal gearbox?
I think it blows me away. Every time you tap it, it's pretty much instant. I don't think it could be any faster. Like, what more could you want?
It's almost like it changes before you, just that millisecond before you touch the pedal.
Yeah, it's almost like it knows what you want to do.
It's amazing how fast computers are these days, and like the gearbox in this car is just amazing. I mean, I really can't think of many negative points.
I can't.
So it's come to that delightful time where we have to pick a spirit animal for this car, having experienced that. But spirit animal, Dylan, this is the nicest car I've been in so far. So what have you got planned for today's spirit animal?
My spirit animal is the husky, and it might seem a little bit strange, but a husky is so agile, and you know, it's got plenty of power to pull those sleds.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is the Carrera 4 GTS, the more wintry sort of version, I thought, you know, huskies like to live in the snow, so this would probably do it right in the snow. And for some reason, I think just the huskiness of the exhaust wants me to say husky too.
Yeah, I get that. It sounds like a husky growl.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You hear it there. Right, I've been thinking this car is majestic, yet quick, and just doesn't give a shit, and it looks beautiful. So I today have just picked your standard stag deer because it's as majestic to look at as you would see a deer jumping over fences.
And I feel like a deer is really nice and sleek, and so is this car.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The angles, the body on this car is amazing. You wonder why Porsche has kept the same 911 shape for year upon year upon year upon decade, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you can see why, because it's just beautiful
It
to look
truly
at.
is. It truly is timeless, like they say.
And it's on to the Keith scale.
How many Keiths out of 7 are we giving this today, Ruben? I think we have decided on a number.
We're going with 5.2. It's getting up there. 5.2 out of 7 Keiths. This is a delightful car. We really want to give it more, but just thinking about the future of the channel and the future of the cars that we're going to drive, if we gave this a 7 out of 7 Keiths, you know, if we
What
go
are we going to
hopping,
give a Lambo?
yeah, like, I mean, we might even give a Lambo less than that. It depends on how well we enjoy it. And we've got the Tesla coming up, but like, this car is just...
And I think it deserves a higher score because it's just so well-rounded, daily and performance categories. It deserves that relatively high score.
Exactly. That's exactly why the Alfa and the Mercedes were 4.5, 4.6, because they both had like categories they were lacking in, and this kind of picks up on both them.
I feel like, yeah, this has got the performance and the daily.
You just know there's going to be more power in future cars that we drive, so that's going to be something that will lift up the scores. But don't get us wrong, a 5.2 is an amazing score. I love this car. I love this car. I would have it as a daily, and I'd have it as the only car in my garage. I love it.
Yeah, I would too. I would too.
Now, in terms of things, we always wrap it up and give our honest opinion on the car, and we normally talk about some flaws. We were just talking before, and we can't really think of anything. There is one. If you want people in the back, they can't really be adults, otherwise they're going to be uncomfortable.
I think that it can't even really be a flaw, because if you're in the market with this car, then you've got to...
That's what I was going to go on to say,
Yeah.
exactly. If you buy it, you're not looking to have 4 people. As far as I see it, that's luggage space, and I love luggage space in a sports car, because you don't want to just drive it around the city all day long. You want to take it out on the open road and go enjoy it, and that is what this car's made for, and it's definitely what the owner does with it.
I think if there is one fault, it's the blank buttons. That sounded so nice.
The turbos. We haven't heard much out of the turbos
No,
today.
they don't whistle like the Alphas do they?
No, they don't. And overall, you know, what more can you say than you want it as the only car in your garage?
Yeah. It's an all-rounder, isn't it? I think something worth noting about this car is that the owner never test drove this car. He ordered it off the internet, ticked all the boxes, it went through the Porsche factory, a custom spec to order, and then he got it and drove it. He didn't even go to the Porsche dealership in New Zealand and test drive a similar model, just straight off the internet, which I think is pretty interesting.
It is. It just goes to show, like, the caliber of Porsche. Like, you know it's going to be good.
The trust, yeah. Is that a Clio right in front of us?
Okay. We're just talking about how great this car is, and I mean, the one thing it's just not better than is the Renault Clio. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we have two...
We have 2 unicorns right here. All good things must come to an end until we buy one for ourselves. And I'm hopeful for our future.
Let's pray for that day.
Yeah, exactly. But I have been Dylan White.
I have been Ruben Mars.
Thank you very much for joining us, guys. See you later.